57% chance of winning a PGA Tour major, would I be wrong by saying I want to invest in the no on Scottie Scheffler? And that $100 investment would pay back $213 here. Everybody thinks Scottie's going to win. It's like 100 golfers in those fields each and every week, and the major's the best golfers in the world. I'm going against the grain, Joe. Give me the no on Scottie Scheffler.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
What is going on with this John Morant saga, right? Joe's on the block. Joe wants to be traded. But now Joe comes back and he denies all trade talk and says John says he has no desire to play elsewhere. So he shut it down. He's still viewed as a franchise centerpiece when on the floor. Memphis, they're better with him.
Pro Basketball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
The Buffalo Bills have to find a new head coach. Take a look at the leaders right now. A 33% chance Brian Dable takes that job. You say, well, why? Wait a second here. He's the head coach of the New York Giants. Did you know he came from the Buffalo Bills and basically resurrected Josh Allen on that MVP trajectory while he was with the Buffalo Bills? Clay Kubiak, Joe Brady, Davis Webb, all offensive guys here, coach.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Buy or sell. Tua has made his last start for the Dolphins. Feels like Sam went easy on this one.
If I could be that crazy guy, was it Jim Cramer? Buy. Yeah, there's no way he's playing for the Dolphins again. After he said that statement, there was no way in hell anyway. But once again, new coach, new GM. I don't know how they're going to do the cap hit. It's massive.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day on a marvelous Monday evening. Scott Wetzel and Gabriel Morency for the next 2 glorious hours, taking you right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time, watching, analyzing, and, of course, betting on the world of sports. It's a beautiful thing. Yes, they pay us for this. Kind of a slow day today, right? We don't have too many NBA games or hockey games or even college basketball games, but we do have some good ones to bet on. How about our Super Bowl props play of the day? Each day from here until the Super Bowl, Gabe and I will analyze at least one, if not more, at least one Super Bowl prop and get some angles on that. So tonight we'll take a look at the MVP market. We got our poly market that play of the day, getting some decent odds on a bet you can make anywhere. And so a whole lot to get to. We got the Sean Higgs, winnersandwinders.com. Adam Kaufman, SportsGrid host, will join us as well. First up, it is game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe?
Well, unbelievable. As you stated, we have the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks playing in the Super Bowl. And if you don't think this is an unlikely matchup, then you haven't been paying attention. And in fact, this is the unlikeliest matchup all time in Super Bowl history, according to the preseason odds. The Seattle Seahawks were 60-1 to win the Super Bowl before the year started. The Patriots were 80-1. So either one of them is about to cash a very large ticket. Incidentally, the second least likely matchup in North American sports finals history, 1991, the Minnesota Twins and the Atlanta Braves.
Atlanta Braves, yeah.
Which I'm kind of blown away by that the Atlanta Braves were 200-1 to win a World Series that year. But I guess that's when they started to get good. So, right, they weren't in that sort of, that dominant run yet. So I was amazed to see that. The Twins were 80-1, Scott, and the Braves were 200-1. And a lot of people are trying to challenge this, going, no way, there's got to be some sort of bigger final sort of. No, not according to the odds. This is according to covers.com and SO History, sports history.
Yeah, if you remember, Gabe, and I do, the year before in 1990, not only the Atlanta Braves, but the Minnesota Twins also, they both finished in last place. So I don't know, how they figured out this combination odds-wise is a little bit higher than that one. But, yeah, I do remember that was the beginning of the Braves run. Exactly. You said it. They both finished in dead last place. So I don't know, who would have really thought of that one? I would have given that one less
the Minnesota Twins. Versus the Atlanta Braves, right? Turned out to be one of the greatest series. To me,
Great.
Probably
yeah.
the best game I've ever saw. Like if people ask me best baseball, that 1-0, the game 7, the extra innings, Jack Morris, pretty much as John Schmaltz, pretty much as awesome as you were going to get. But yeah, that's how improbable this Super Bowl matchup is. 60-1 and 80-1.
Wow, not bad, not bad. Opening pickoff time. Not a whole lot to take, but we do have some games here at 8 o'clock that Gabe and I can take a shot at. I'll start on the NBA game. This one opened up 8.5 overnight line I saw last night. Then it hopped to 9, and then it kind of settled back down a little bit to 7.5. I'll grab Portland plus the 7.5 at Boston. You and I both talked about this Trailblazer team is playing much, much, much better basketball. Obviously, Celtics are really good, but that's a big fat number. First of an East Coast trip here for the Trailblazers. I got more on this game, but give me Portland plus the 7.5 to at least keep this thing close.
We're getting 8.5 now because Avia is out, unfortunately, but Avia is out a lot, right? Portland are one of these teams that you almost just whatever. Whoever's playing, it is what it is, and you accept it. They're hitting the road, right? They had a good road trip. They've got the best record in the NBA in the month of January, so I'm with you. I'm on the Blazers tonight. We're getting 8.5 now. Boston wins. Let's say, hopefully, Boston wins by 5 or 6 type of deal, right? But I don't think they're going to get blown out tonight. Give me the 8.5 points with the Blazers.
All right, a little hunch bet here. Anthony Simons over 13.5 points for the Celtics as he faces his former Portland team. Spent 6, 7, 8 years with Portland. He did face them earlier this season in Portland, which we think would be a little bit more hype for him. Got 13 points, so he's right there. But I'm thinking maybe just at home, a little more comfortability. Celtic fans there cheering him on. Should be a high-scoring game. Just a little, you know what, maybe he goes for 17, 18, 19. Give me Simons over 13.5 points for the Celtics.
I think what Jaylen Brown is doing, it's hard to believe and say that a Boston Celtic player isn't getting enough media attention. But, Jaylen Brown, for whatever reason, like if this was Tatum without Brown, the media would be going all over it. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Jason Tatum scoring 30 points a game. That's why he's the man. And Jaylen Brown's doing it, and no one's really talking about it. So I'm looking at Jaylen Brown. What's kind of flying under the radar, guys, is his rebounding. All right, so his prop is 6.5 tonight. He's had 7 or more rebounds in 9 of their last 10 games. All right, he's a rebound machine. 8 rebounds, 10 rebounds, 10 rebounds, 11, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 8, 3, 10. The guy's just, he's a double-double walking machine. So it's 6.5 again tonight. It's up to minus 160 right now, but let's go Jaylen Brown over 6.5 rebounds.
All right. This one's really just kind of a toss-up, but like I said, we need some 8 o'clock plays here, and I do like it a little bit. It's nothing crazy, though. I'll take the Bulls getting 1.5. FanDuel's got them still a slight underdog at home, 1.5 against the LA Lakers. Lakers have won 3 of their last 4. They're playing well, but more importantly for me, the Bulls are playing better. They're such a streaky team, man. They started off great in the season, then they went into a nasty month or so tailspin. Now they seemingly have broken out of that thing. They've won 5 straight at home where this game is. They're 5-1 their last 6 games overall, 6-2 against the spread their last 8. They're 6-2 against the Lakers for whatever reason as well. Little extra bonus there. So let's throw a little flyer on the Bulls at home, getting 1.5.
We're going to go with an NHL game here. The Edmonton Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks on Amazon tonight. The Ducks are smoking hot. And they're not really getting any respect at all coming into this game. You want to talk about streaky teams. The Anaheim Ducks are as streaky as they get, right? They went 0-8-1 in a 9-game stretch, and they've responded with a 7-game win streak right now. So going into Edmonton, I think this game is a toss-up. Give me the 1.5 with the Ducks, plus 1.5, minus 110.
All right, I'll use the same game, and I was thinking about that. I'll take Anaheim as well. I'm going to grab them on the money line game. Here's why. Neither one is a bad bet, right? I looked it up. 14 of the last 17 Edmonton Oilers wins have come by 2 goals or more. They're a feast or famine team. Last night they did beat Washington in overtime, so that's one of the 3 that they did not win by 2 goals or more. But for the most part, when they win big, or they don't win at all. So because of that, I'll take a little flyer on Anaheim plus the 220 and get the win outright.
Generally, you're right. It is true about the Oilers. Like they'll win 5 or 6-0, or they'll lose. It is kind of an all or nothing. Against the Ducks, it's a little bit different division. If you look at the rivalry and stuff, it's been kind of close. The Ducks have actually beaten them 3 of the last 4 times they played as well. right? The Ducks used to lose, but the modern Ducks aren't intimidated by the Oilers. So I'm going to go over 1.5 in the first period. This is as high as I've seen, though, so far. It's minus 170 for over 1.5 in the first period. Wow. You know, generally it's minus 125, 130 or so, might be 35, whatever. But, like, yeah, they're not playing around tonight. Minus 170, but I think there'll be multiple goals in the first period.
Yeah. You know, you got some strong over trends between these two teams. The series last 18 meetings, 14-4 over. I'm guessing most of those were 6.5, so you'd have to look that up. Edmonton's 13-6 over as well at home, so they generally put the puck in the net. That's probably why, Gabe, you're paying a little extra premium on that first period. They figure this is going to get a good 6, 7, if not 8 goals tonight.
I agree. And listen, the total 6.5 for a reason. There should be goals in this game. And this is a big time of the year right now. Everybody's really paying attention to the Olympics. It's coming up. It's around the corner. Teams only have a couple of games left before the break right now, and everybody's desperate not to get traded, to get points, not to get fired. There's a lot of cities that are starting to panic right now about where they are in the standings.
Yeah, it's getting to the big crunch time. It's basically 30 games left, depending on which team you're looking at. They played 50 games. I mean, it's less than half the season.
Marathon sprint. When we come out, too, right? It was condensed, and it's going to be the same thing when they come back. Boom, 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 boom. So they're really trying to get as many points in as they can before the break right now.
Yep. Opening kickoff is in. Quick little break. Check the board. See if we can find some more winners. Game live, GameDay on the grid.
.7% chance of winning a PGA Tour major. Would I be wrong by saying I want to invest in the no on Scotty Scheffler? And that $100 investment would pay back $213 here. Everybody thinks Scotty's going to win. It's like 100 golfers in those fields each and every week, and the major's the best golfers in the world. I'm going against the grain, Joe. Give me the no on Scotty Scheffler.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
What is going on with this John Morant saga, right? John's on the block. John wants to be traded. But now John comes back and he denies all trade targets, and John says he has no desire to play elsewhere. So he shut it down. He's still viewed as a franchise centerpiece when on the floor. Memphis, they're better with him.
Pro Basketball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
The Buffalo Bills have to find a new head coach. Take a look at the leaders right now. A 33% chance Brian Dable takes that job. You say, well, why? Wait a second here. He's the head coach of the New York Giants. Did you know he came from the Buffalo Bills and basically resurrected Josh Allen on that MVP trajectory while he was with the Buffalo Bills? Clay Kubiak, Joe Brady, Davis Webb, all offensive guys, which I agree with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
All right, welcome back. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe just getting underway. We'll review all the NFL stuff from over the weekend. A surprise. Boy, you talk about teams and players not wanting to partake in the Pro Bowl. You'll never guess in a million years who actually made the Pro Bowl today. In the meantime, let's review real quickly our opening pickoffs, Gabe. I got Portland plus the 8.5 versus the Celtics. I'm going to go Anthony Simons for the Celtics over 13.5 points as he faces his former team for the second time. Chicago plus the 1.5 at home against the LA Lakers, and I'll grab Edmonton to win outright against the Edmonton Oilers. What about you?
I'm on some similar plays. We're going to take the Portland Trailblazers plus the points. Jaylen Brown over 6.5 rebounds. Anaheim Ducks plus 1.5. And the Ducks and the Oilers over 1.5 in the first period of play. 9 o'clock, we've got some good games. The Lakers-Bulls game should be an entertaining game, right? They're both, the Bulls are streaky. The Bulls are good at home. The Lakers are sort of all over the place, right? I kind of like the Lakers tonight. But one thing, the Lakers, even though they're not like the champions, they are one of these teams that everybody gets fired up for, right? They do. Like the building gets fired up, Luka and LeBron and stuff. So everybody's always an energy in the building when the Lakers are there. So the Lakers kind of face teams best a lot, right? So I think they're judged unfairly at times, the Lakers. So I lean with the Lakers in that game. And there was a real D-Gen college game that I was going to pick. I was like, I don't really have to do it, but I could with the UT Grande Valley and the Texas A&M Corpus Christi. I'm sure you took a look at it since it tipped off.
I saw. Oh yeah, yeah.
I was thinking about Corpus Christi here on the money line. They played and they won by a few points on the road. I figured they could beat them again. Like I think that's the play. Corpus Christi money line.
The home team, yes, Texas. They beat them by like 4 or 5, I think it was. I looked it up about a month or so ago at UT. So I figured the same thing. It's basically the same line, -1.5. I think they were 2.5 point favorites. So it's -1.5 if you want to hop on board. They just tipped off there 5-4. So yeah, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Wow,
I couldn't resist. For the record, the Bulls. Figure the Bulls and Lakers will be a track meet too, right? Total's 235.5. It's kind of high. It's 237.5. They're already off and running, man. They didn't play around. They started right away. 16-12 Bulls early.
Yeah. The one big of the two biggies that we have today, college basketball, Dookie Pukey's on top, 46-30 over Louisville. This was supposed to be one of the marquee matchups. We got Arizona and BYU. It's starting at 9 o'clock, depending on how long this one lasts, because that's on the 4-letter network as well. But
that's going to be a good one.
That was. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I'm really, this one was good. Duke is always entertaining to watch. But the BYU one, in Arizona, could this be the first Arizona loss? That's what I'm banking on. We'll talk more, I'm sure, about it. It's part of my late
night. It is a hostile territory.
But I think BYU wins tonight. Yeah,
it's hostile territory. I think Arizona are going to survive still. I think BYU are really good, but I don't think they're on Arizona's level. I think Arizona can handle the home court as well. We'll see, like with BYU. I want to see them. They've, against good teams, like who have they beaten? Who have they beaten and who have they lost to type of deal? Texas Tech shut them down, held them to 71 points in that game. I just think, when they play elite teams, they lost to UConn, albeit the UConn game was close, so we'll give them credit for that one. But they lost to UConn. They lost to Texas Tech. And they've beaten up on everybody else, all right? Like, they don't have, like, a nice signature win, really, in my opinion. They beat Villanova earlier in the year, like at one of those tournaments to start the year type of deal. But this is a big game for them. Like I said, they lost to UConn. They lost to Texas Tech. Let's see them beat a top-tier team.
Yeah. I'll say this. I don't think, Gabe, there's any more, and I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't think there's any more of a underappreciated, underrated, pick whatever phrase you want to use, program than BYU, right? We say the same things about their college football teams. You just, who did they beat? They're not really any good. The Big 12 stings, you always, for whatever reason. And we're talking about a program that's been pretty good in football and in basketball. I mean, you go back to the Danny Ainge days in basketball, and, the Jim McMahon days in football. They've been, good for 30, 40 years. But there is always something like, I don't know what it is about BYU. There's always like, but, I don't know. It's BYU, It's the weirdest thing.
Their basketball program used to get more respect. Like you said, the football team has to really earn the respect all the time, which I think people are naive not to, like, see it, like, at this point and go, all right, you know what, BYU are a pretty consistently good football team. I think their age advantage has helped them a little bit in that regard. But you're right. They fly under the radar with basketball. I mean, they got the number 1 recruit in the country. The kid put up 43 or whatever. So he's on fire. This is going to be a big test for him tonight as well. Arizona are big, though. That's the thing. Arizona are deep. Arizona are big. I think BYU are going to have a problem on the glass tonight. Like I said, they better hit their first shots. Like, second chance opportunities, I don't think will be there as much as they normally are against the inferior teams for BYU tonight. But are Arizona really going to run the table? I mean, it's a big week. Tomorrow we got Nebraska as well, right? Nebraska is still undefeated, and they go into Ann Arbor to take on the Michigan Wolverines, the one-loss Michigan Wolverines tomorrow night. Michigan laying 10.5 right now.
Yeah. I don't know necessarily. Listen, you can't plan a Michigan-Nebraska game being as big as it is, right? I mean, who thought that Nebraska was going to be this good? But I will say that they picked like the perfect week, college basketball, to really up its game. You know, between Michigan and Nebraska, that should be a lot of fun.
It's too bad it's on the Peacock, though. It's not on NBA.
Oh, is it? I mean, I get it, but is it that's you know, half the nation
it's
can't
too bad.
get
You
that.
have the third-ranked team versus the fifth-ranked team in the country, and it's on the Peacock network, a network that very few people have. Like, that's not ideal. Like, the Big Ten, it's a bad contract. Like, for a conference as big as the Big Ten, you guys should not be on this. Like, you should point blank be on NBC tonight. Just say, listen, you want us? You put us on NBC. You want the game? You put the top teams on NBC.
Should be like Sunday Night Football, where every once in a while they get a chance to say, all right, listen, the schedule says this, but we can move this team out. You know, we want this.
Exactly.
We're paying a little bit
you
more.
own the network anyways. NBC is their parent company. Just say, listen, we want this game,
it is.
Right?
It's a Peacock. Yeah. And look at BYU's schedule this week, right? This is middle. We're going to find out about this BYU team. They played Texas Tech. You mentioned they lost a week or so ago. Then they played big-time rival Utah. They got number 1 Arizona tonight. Then they got number 14 at Kansas. Then Oklahoma State, and then number 10, Houston. So by next Wednesday, after the Houston game, or next Saturday, we'll know about BYU one way or the other. All right, more coming up in Game 5.
.7% chance of winning a PGA Tour major? Would I be wrong by saying I want to invest in the no on Scotty Scheffler? And that $100 investment would pay back $213 here. Everybody thinks Scotty's going to win. It's like 100 golfers in those fields each and every week, and the majors, the best golfers in the world. I'm going against the grain, Joe. Give me the no on Scotty Scheffler.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
What is going on with this John Morant saga, right? Joe's on the block. Joe wants to be traded. But now Joe comes back and he denies all trade targets, and John says he has no desire to play elsewhere. So he shut it down. He's still viewed as a franchise centerpiece when on the floor. Memphis, they're better with him.
Pro Basketball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
The Buffalo Bills have to find a new head coach. Take a look at the leaders right now. A 33% chance Brian Dable takes that job. You say, well, why? Wait a second here. He's head coach of the New York Giants. Did you know he came from the Buffalo Bills and basically resurrected Josh Allen on that MVP trajectory while he was with the Buffalo Bills? Clay Kubiak, Joe Brady, Davis Webb, all offensive guys, which I agree with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
All right, welcome back. In-game live game day here on the grid. Hour number 1. We got Sean Higgs, winnersandwhiners.com, joining us in a couple of moments. Before we get to him, though, how about a little poly market special? I haven't delved too much into this recently. I found one. I kind of look for bets that everyone can make. They have some goofy things on these prediction market sites, no two ways about political stuff and this and that and unrest and everything else. I kind of generally isolate it towards sports. So I'm going to grab one here. Carlos Alcaraz Gabe, to win the Australian Open, you're going to win $163 on FanDuel. The number's $145, so you get $20, $18 more if you want to use the Polymarket site. And it's more, I think he can win regardless, but I watched the Jannik Sinner match the other day. I'll give him all the credit in the world. I mean, just like this is what gets me about tennis. Unlike the guy who was supposed to play the Joker today who quit in a walkover, didn't even try. Sinner was out there. He couldn't move. He could. I mean, I don't know how he won his match in the third round of a major because the competition is pretty good at that level. The dude couldn't move. He was cramping so badly. It was so hot. Controversy about how they stopped the match to close the roof and everything else. Ends up winning on basically a half a leg. I mean, look, he's cramping in both legs the entire match. So my point is, I know he's gonna get like 2-3 days off here before his next match, but it's against Ben Shelton, the American, who's really good. That now you're really upping your game. I don't know how much you can recover. I think he's going to lose to Shelton, who's a 12-1 underdog, by the way. That's a pretty live bet. Even 2.5 sets that we can break it all down. But point is, I think it opens the door for Alcaraz. I think he's going to end up winning. I'll take him on the Polymarket at plus 163.
Yeah, he does seem to be beatable right now, Sinner, or vulnerable, I guess is the right word. I liked Alcaraz coming into this tournament, but I don't disagree with that. And good eye. Anytime you can get a couple of extra dollars, guys, why not do it, right? If Polymarket's giving you an extra $18 on $100, that's a significant difference, man. That's 18%. That's a massive chunk.
Yeah. Right. It's like a fifth more. Why not? Like, if you have the option, they want to do it for you. It beats 18 less dollars. That's for darn sure. So yeah, I think I liked him also to start the tournament. But then watching Sinner play the other day, like I said, I'll give him all the credit for even John McEnroe, who I really love. He's one of my favorite announcers on TV. He was even suggesting, it was so bad for Sinner, Gabe, that he was suggesting that Sinner tank the third match, lose on purpose, his words, get the 10-minute break for an injury timeout, which you can't get during a set, but you can after a set, and then take the 10 minutes and just try and, be down 2-1. But that's how bad it was for Sinner. And he didn't do that. And he actually somehow or another, like I said, not only won that game, but ended up winning the set and the match and everything else. But that's how bad it was. I can't think even 2-3 days off is going to change things that much against a really good competitor like Shelton and then, on the tournament. So I think you get decent odds with
Shelton, everyone's going to really try to work Sinner now as well, right? Knowing that he's not 100%. That other guy wasn't doing.
Yeah,
you've got to get him going side by side now and really get him running around like crazy.
Right. This other guy the other day was just hitting it right to him. I'm like, I'm watching.
He decided to just try to trade with him. What are you doing? Exactly.
Yeah. Can't do that.
If you're smart, that's when I don't know. I don't think he had the game to do it, but that's when you need the short game. Yeah. You need to start playing net shots and drop shots. Right. Make him run. That's the whole point. Make him run, right? And if you miss once in a while, fine. But he won't be able to do it. Eventually, he'll give up on them as well, right? Yeah, I agree with you. He didn't attack it in the right way. Sinner is a monster, though. You got, like you said, you got to give him credit, right? He gets criticized, because he's failed the test and he got away with it. And tennis is doesn't let anyone get away with anything, and he did. So people kind of look at him a little bit differently, but he definitely showed something. But I do agree. I think Alcaraz is going to win this tournament.
Yeah. So I tell you, this starts. The men's side is basically there's 2, 3, 4 guys tops, right? But the women are starting their quarterfinals. You got some big time matches on the women's side. If you like women's tennis. Now it really gets good. These guys, the women are all, as I say, guys, these women are all ranked 2 versus 5 seed, 4 versus 6 seed, 3 versus 12 seed, and then Sabalenka, who has her match underway against Jovic, who's a 29th seed. But you got some real, now it begins. Now, if you like tennis.
Anisimova and Pegula, pretty much a pick 'em. Pegula's plus 110. Raducanu and Swiatek. Elena's a minus 125 favorite. I'm surprised there. Remember we talked about it? Everyone called her Rybakina forever, and it's not. It's Rybakina or Rybakina, whatever. Rybakina. Thank you. Rybakina.
Is that what it is? Rybakina?
I got to write that down on the wall. Thanks, Pat Foss. Rybakina. Thank you. Rybakina. No one calls her that. But yeah, that's
the number 5 seed. Is the number.
97% chance of winning a PGA Tour major, would I be wrong by saying I want to invest in the no on Scotty Scheffler? And that $100 investment would pay back $213 here. Everybody thinks Scotty's going to win. There's like 100 golfers in those fields each and every week in the majors, the best golfers in the world. I'm going against the grain, Joe. Give me the no on Scotty Scheffler.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
What is going on with this John Morant saga, right? Joe's on the block. Joe wants to be traded. But now Joe comes back and he denies all trade talks and John says he has no desire to play elsewhere. So he shut it down. He's still viewed as a franchise centerpiece when on the floor. Memphis, they're better with him.
Pro Basketball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
The Buffalo Bills have to find a new head coach. Take a look at the leaders right now. A 33% chance Brian Dable takes that job. You say, well, why? Wait a second here. He's head coach of the New York Giants. Did you know he came from the Buffalo Bills and basically resurrected Josh Allen on that MVP trajectory while he was with the Buffalo Bills? Clay Kubiak, Joe Brady, Davis Webb, all offensive guys, which I agree with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number one. Let's get some winners from our good buddy, Sean Higgs, winnersandwhiners.com. Are you winning or are you whining for this past weekend, Sean?
Winning weekend. 2-1 with the NFL. I had a nice college basketball weekend. I'm looking at I like Duke today, so Louisville isn't looking pretty well here. So we like that. I never got doing pronunciations before with some basketball name. Let's do Louisville for the Louisville squad.
Louisville. Well, even that's at Louisville, right? That's what they really want to be called, right? But people call them Louisville.
Yeah, I think Louisville is definitely
Louisville.
Louisville, you're getting in a fist fight if you're in town calling them that at the bar. I don't like these Louisville wings. Your wings in Louisville aren't that good.
This all started because of Rebecca. That's it. Because, no one knows her name's Rebecca, but that's her name. It's not Rybakina.
As she was called for so many years, right? All right. Finally, you want to change it.
It happens, too. It happens with hockey players.
Yeah.
And there's a few guys like, once in a while, they'll be like, you guys have been calling me by my wrong name for like the last 5 years. It's like, well, why did you wait 5 years, right? You should have said something. Like Bijan Robinson has told people that they don't say his name right, just point blank, but it's too late. Like no one can turn it back. No one's gonna call him Bijan. Like it's people
Bijan?
aren't pronouncing it right. His mother gets really mad too, but he told her I can't stop it. Like it's too late.
Hold on.
Like
what's his
you
name?
can't.
What's it supposed to be? What's it supposed to be?
Bijan.
Not Bijan.
Not Bijan.
Well, how we've been saying.
Like. People call him Bijan Robinson.
There's really more pronounced on the B, I guess.
Like Dijon? Like Dijon
Like
mustard?
Dijon, right?
Dijon?
Dijon mustard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
But he I'm just saying, like, he basically said that he calls himself by like that now too. Right, but he goes, it's wrong. Like, my mother gets mad at you all. Like, he basically told everyone once at a press conference.
Yeah, but
my mother doesn't like any of you like this, not getting my name right, but it doesn't bother me, he said.
But that's that kind of stuff where people say like coffee and coffee, like different, your different name is gonna say things differently. Shocking.
Yeah, it is. Well, we know how
Tomato,
to say
tomato.
Arizona. Everyone can say that one.
Yeah.
BYU.
If you screw it up BYU, you're in trouble.
Well,
yeah.
we can call
Where you
SMU
going?
SMU, but we don't really have one. But what about
Yeah,
that? Does Arizona remain undefeated? I think they do. Wetzel thinks that BYU are going to win.
We're going 2 out of 3 here. I'm with you on Arizona. Listen,
Really?
I get it. At 3.5, I could see taking the BYU game. At this point, it stays to be a 1 now. It's come down. I know BYU, they're older, it's experienced team. You know, these guys come back from mission trips. I don't know, man. This Arizona team, they won at Connecticut. BYU lost there. I look at their neutral wins, who they beat. I mean, these guys, tougher schedule. I don't know. Will I be shocked
Florida.
if BYU wins here? No. Am I going out of my way to bet BYU plus a 1.5 or even money? That's not running to the window. I mean, the line is what it is. You know it's going to be sharp as a tack when you got the number 1 team in the country coming to town. There's not going to be much wiggle room there, and it's gone. It's from 3.5 to 1.
They're giving BYU respect. Yeah, I would have made Arizona like 3 or whatever. I got, you know what I mean? 2.5, 3. Yeah, give people a reason to take BYU, and they did. But now that it's a basic pick, I got to be on Arizona.
Yeah, I'm with you.
They got some. I will say you're right. I mean, they have some big time wins. Florida to open up the season, UCLA, UConn, Auburn, Alabama, back to back. Albeit a week apart, but back to back. I mean, they do. It's more just.
Those aren't home games either.
Those are neutral sites. Yeah, they weren't home games. So
you're rolling neutral court games.
They won at UConn. That's a good as far as really they had a big time road game. Yeah, I mean it doesn't get bigger than UConn, right? So if you could win at UConn, you could win anywhere. I'll admit that.
Yeah,
but it's just a matter. You got to really finish undefeated. I know there's no bigger game on their schedule than this right here in front of them.
Wow, it's +1 now. It's flipped. Arizona +1.
Wow, FanDuel still has -1.5.
Yeah, the number 1 ranked team in the country getting a point as an underdog now.
See, now it opens at that number, and I'm taking BYU all day. But the lines move. We're talking a 4-point line move here. This was a 3 last night when it opened.
Yeah, but it's still basically you're picking the winner, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going
pick the
1
winner
to
of the game,
4 or 1 to 5. Either way, you're who do you think is going to win, regardless of the line? I don't think the mentality
just pulling away.
Maybe what? Really?
64-41. Louisville just can't score. Oh, they just hit a 3 as I say that, but yeah, Louisville just hit the wall. This game was like 23-22 at one point. It was close. They were trading baskets going back and forth. Now it's just an absolute rout.
I don't want to put the black cloud on our producer's play, but he's got over 83 Duke team points. He's got 62 with 11 minutes left. If you can't get 21 more points,
64 now. They should get there.
Cash that.
It really matters. What does Louisville do? Right? Do they quit if they keep on pounding? If they can go on a little bit of a run, get it into 10 points or whatnot, it would get Duke's attention again. For the record, the total is 148.5 right now, and Duke are laying 19.5. So the odds makers are not impressed by Louisville scoring a basket or 2.
They're not coming back in this game. They'll lose by 15.
You want to take
Duke's
19.5, 18.5 on FanDuel? Yeah, Duke's a good team.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Sneaking in 20 possibly, but I mean, at this rate, what are you looking at here? This is with 10 minutes to go in this game.
I tell you,
not going well, Scott, for our Trailblazers.
Yeah, that's right where I was going, Gabe.
32-11.
Points after 1 quarter. Good. Who'd you have in that one?
You guys took poorly today? I had nothing. No action in that game today.
Nothing?
I had the Hawks earlier today. I didn't even realize it was like a crazy day game out of the blue like that in the afternoon.
They were down big and they rallied to win.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I put my thing in early. Next thing I know, I was like, it's final. I'm like, wait, what happened? I was like, what is going on here? But you got some afternoon games with the guess that snow and ice really messes things up. A jumbly schedule across the basketball landscape for college and NBA there.
That might be the one
11
that was
points.
yesterday.
This is as bad. Didn't the Nets have like 14 points in the
I'm
second quarter
worried.
the other day?
I got a Jaylen Brown prop. I'm worried about it. If it's going to be this much of a rout, he's not going to play much. Like Portland's got to get back in this. Otherwise, Jaylen Brown's going to get taken out of the game in the second half.
Let me see where my guy is. I have Simons. He's got 3. Same thing. Although he actually would play a little bit more probably.
He would play. I had a good start, though. Jaylen Brown's got 3 rebounds. The prop is 6.5. He's got 3 in the first quarter. So he might get this in the first half if he plays enough.
Hold on. Yeah, I was going to say, hold on. Yeah, I mean, Dave, you got a guy who needs 6 rebounds and the team's got 11 points. You might have this at the 6-minute mark. They keep showing up bricks like this. You'll be all right.
They keep missing. You're right. It's a good point. Yeah.
You don't need like 32 points or something where he's going to be on the bench at halftime, leaving with 14 points and 10 rebounds at the halftime or something.
There's a lot of misses. A lot of misses. For the Blazers shot 4 for 21 in the first. That's what they were. 1 for 12 from 3. It's the thing, guys, if you know it's not falling at some point, after you miss 6 of them, why don't you say, you know what, let's just take it to the rack, for a little while here.
Yeah.
No, the modern team, no, let's just keep shooting them. Let's keep shooting them. 1 for 12.
Wow.
Terrible product.
Crazy.
Terrible product.
Yep. Well, good job, man. winnersandwhiners.com. Look at all those plays.
7% chance of winning a PGA Tour major, would I be wrong by saying I want to invest in the no on Scotty Scheffler? And that $100 investment would pay back $213 here. Everybody thinks Scotty's going to win. There's like 100 golfers in those fields each and every week, and the major's the best golfers in the world. I'm going against the grain, Joe. Give me the no on Scotty Scheffler.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
What is going on with this John Morant saga, right? Joe's on the block. Joe wants to be traded. But now Joe comes back and he denies all trade targets, and John says he has no desire to play elsewhere. So he shut it down. He's still viewed as a franchise centerpiece when on the floor. Memphis, they're better with him.
Pro Basketball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
The Buffalo Bills have to find a new head coach. Take a look at the leaders right now. A 33% chance Brian Dable takes that job. And say, well, why? Wait a second here. Who's head coach of the New York Giants? Did you know he came from the Buffalo Bills and basically resurrected Josh Allen on that MVP trajectory while he was with the Buffalo Bills? Clay Kubiak, Joe Brady, Davis Webb, all offensive guys, which I agree with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid again. Thanks, Sean Higgs. winnersandwhiners.com. So, yeah, NBA board. I did like Cleveland tonight. I generally don't go on and off. When you have a home and home, you know, the prevailing theory is, all right, you bet on the team that lost the first game. I didn't like that with Cleveland. I like it with Golden State, Minnesota later tonight, but not with this one game. Cleveland's the better team, and Orlando seems to be a little bit of a funk. They're leading now by 8, 76-68. Numbers up a little bit, 8.5. It was, 4.5, 5 to start the game. I thought that was a halfway decent play. The numbers have come down. Like Cleveland's the worst against the spread team in the NBA, but they've been favored by so much. They're still winning. They're just not killing teams. And anything in that 4 or 5 range at home, I'm betting on them. So they're off to a decent start here midway through the third quarter. The Laker game, Bulls, your Lakers, at least they are for you tonight, 49-37, lead the Bulls. Good start. I'm sure Luka's got 1,000 points. I missed his point total the other day by a half a point. I bet the over against Dallas. I knew it was the sucker line. It was 33 and a half.
Got to 33.
33. Yeah.
It was just so high. So high at 33 and a half. It was just.
I knew it was, but it was just, it's Dallas. You know, he's going to go back. He's going to put 50 on the board. And 33. How do they know? So
the one thing with him, he can upset people because he does it slowly at times, and the teammates and whatever, they'll sort of, they like him to go a little bit faster at times, but he does pass the ball. So that's the thing.
Yes,
like, he could have scored 50 the other night, but he was passing the ball to guys, and he gets it. Like, that's the one thing with him. He's not good to play with another star player. If you'll notice, other star guys don't really want to play with him, but he'll share it with the secondary guys. Like, he'll get you a couple of nice looking dunks. Him and Jackson Hayes have a nice thing going. A couple of free alley-oop dunks for Jackson Hayes tonight and stuff. He'll cut and penetrate and pop it out for you to hit a 3 too. So he's not like a selfish player. He could score more. I think, like I said, the Lakers are good. The Lakers are kind of, they're polarized. Same with LeBron. Like, don't fool like, LeBron didn't make the All-Star game. The guy's still scoring like 24, 25 a night. Right? Like, and they're doing this without Austin Reeves. Yeah, and they're doing it without Austin Reeves right now, Scott. And Austin Reeves is good. Right? Like, when Austin Reeves comes back, they're going to be a load to deal with. Like, I'm not saying they get to the finals, but I think they can win a playoff series. Like, they won't be an easy out. Like, they won't be easy to deal with in the playoffs.
Like, I would have more confidence in them than I would have the Clippers being healthy. They're never healthy. Minnesota, for whatever reason, I've given up on them. I always used to root for them. Denver healthy with the Joker back would be tough. I even think the Lakers might have a little too much for the Spurs, even though I love that Spurs team. Like, I put them in that 3, 4, 5. Yeah, right. Real good series. Youth and everything, and versus the experienced guys. That would be a good series. It really would.
I do think they would wear out, though, as well, as the playoffs went on, if the Lakers, right? Luka has the ball so much. People are going to beat him up in the playoffs. It's going to get much more physical. LeBron's not young. Like I said, Austin Reeves is. But I can see the Lakers sort of getting fatigued as the playoffs go on. But in the first round, like, they're going to be flying around, and they score a lot of points. And you're not going to get calls. I mean, anytime Luka wants to go to the free throw line, he can. Anytime LeBron wants to go to the free throw line, he can pretty much. So it's a challenge. Like, you saw it sort of, Scott, in the Olympics, right? Last time. There are a lot of good players on the Olympic team and stuff, but when the games were close, what happened? It was Curry that saved them. It was Durant that saved them.
Yeah.
Like, all these young players are good, but can they do it when it matters? Oklahoma City proved that they could, but a lot of other teams don't. I mean, it's not easy. Like, you think, LeBron's 41 or whatever. But, like, it's not easy to beat, man, in a 7-game series still. Right? Like, these young teams just don't do it. Look at the T-Wolves. They're a good example. How many years have we heard Anthony Edwards going to take the NBA over?
They can't get over the top. I've been rooting for them. I love that team. When they had Cat on that team, it's like, how are they not going to win? And they just seem to be stuck just at this level of not even getting to the conference finals. Or the NBA finals. They can't, for whatever reason. It's the straight. They've gone through head coaches and owners.
They need a point
and
guard.
everything else.
I think it's a point guard situation, but
yeah,
it's always something, right? I mean, they've fallen short, just sort of, And what was
that's
the
why
Spurs
you wouldn't
too?
take a shot at Trae Young.
What do the Spurs have? What do the Spurs have, right? How deep can the Spurs dig down in the playoffs? Right. I figured they got a series, maybe, you know what I mean? But are the Spurs really going to win 3 playoff series in a row in the West? I don't know. I don't think they're quite there yet. Wembanyama is a badass, but I don't think they have enough experience for that yet.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I think their problem is just experience. Just, get in a couple of playoff
playing
years.
in big games
and
the emotion
games,
of it.
Play some big games.
The emotion of it.
Like their roster, I think, if you kept this roster together, is going to win a championship somewhere along the line. I think they could
Oh,
all
I
be that
agree.
good if Castle continues, right? So just a
And
little
they
experience.
could make
By
it
the
to
way,
the finals
OKC,
this year even. It's not like impossible that
Yeah.
they don't make it. And yeah, how about the Toronto Raptors? That was an impressive win,
winning
man.
at Oklahoma City.
Yeah, like no one's going to care that, oh, you beat Golden State and Sacramento on back-to-back nights. But if you look at their Lakers, if you look at the Raptors road trip, they opened up, they had a heartbreaking loss to the Clippers. So it's like a close game. They ended up losing a close one to the Clippers. They got smoked by the Lakers. Bad game. They only scored 93 points. Then they beat Golden State, and then they played the next night again against Sacramento. They beat Sacramento. Then they go to Portland, who have the best record in the NBA in the month of January, 11-3 going into Friday night's game. Raptors beat Portland rather easily, too. Raptors beat down Portland, and then you figure, all right, now you got to go to Oklahoma City, though, and play again. Like your fourth game in the last 6 nights. Now you're going to Oklahoma City, and they beat them. And the way they did it, too, with Scotty Barnes blocking Chet Holmgren late and stuff. Scotty Barnes, man, you can make an argument he's the defensive player of the year right now in the NBA. This guy's just like just a pure stopper. Raptors are a dangerous team right now, but Boston are balling too, right? And you got Detroit and Boston ahead of them. But who would have thought that the Raptors would be the 3 seed at this point of the year?
Yeah. And OKC, by the way, lost. That was back-to-back games. They were coming off loss against Indiana, so you figured anyway that they would come out like flying. That loss, by the way, for OKC, their 10th loss on the season. So that bet of having them
there
setting
goes that
the NBA
record, just like that.
Yeah, it crossed off
went
my
up in
ticket.
flames.
FanDuel just went up in flames. Yep,
In 1 month.
unbelievable.
.7% chance of winning a PJ Tour major, would I be wrong by saying I want to invest in the no on Scotty Scheffler? And that $100 investment would pay back $213 here. Everybody thinks Scotty's going to win. It's like 100 golfers in those fields each and every week, and the major's the best golfers in the world. I'm going against the grain, Joe. Give me the no on Scotty Scheffler.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
What is going on with this John Morant saga? Right? Joe's on the block. Joe wants to be traded. But now Joe comes back and he denies all trade talk and John says he has no desire to play elsewhere. So he shut it down. He's still viewed as a franchise centerpiece when on the floor. Memphis, they're better with him.
Pro Basketball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
The Buffalo Bills have to find a new head coach. Take a look at the leaders right now. A 33% chance Brian Dable takes that job. You say, well, why? Wait a second here. He's the head coach of the New York Giants. Did you know he came from the Buffalo Bills and basically resurrected Josh Allen on that MVP trajectory while he was with the Buffalo Bills? Clay Kubiak, Joe Brady, Davis Webb, all offensive guys, which I agree with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe closing out fast hour number 1. We got Adam Kaufman, SportsGrid host, join us in about 40 minutes or so. We'll get some thoughts from him. Crazy weekend. Before we get back to the current board, our Super Bowl is set. New England Patriots, you said at the top there, Gabe. Seattle, who would have thought this at the beginning of the year? I'm still sitting on an under New England Patriots 5.5 win ticket or 6.5 win, whatever it was. So no, I did not think they were getting to the Super Bowl. No way, no how. But here they sit. So now we have our favorite little time. We got 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, which I actually enjoy. So we got 2 solid weeks to delve into some prop plays. One of the more popular ones right at the top is MVP. Gabe and I will take a look at least one every single day here and give you our thoughts. MVP, it's strange this year for me, Gabe, because I could see Seattle winning without Sam Darnold being the MVP. 9 times out of 10, it's like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or, Pat Mahomes. Are those teams really going to win without them being the MVP? Probably not. But this year, a little different. I think Seattle certainly can win, as good as their defense is, as good as Kenneth Walker is, running the ball for 100-plus yards. And then, to a little lesser extent, I could see someone stepping up big for New England, especially on defense. The way Sam Darnold throws interceptions at times. So it's not necessarily, to me, a Sam Darnold at plus 125 or Drake May plus 235 ticket. What about you?
Yeah, I understand where you're going with this. And look, the total is only 46 points right now. I don't think a lot of people are expecting this game to be a track meet. So is Sam Darnold going to put up what kind of numbers is he going to put up? I think Kenneth Walker could be worth the look. If Walker was able to score 2 touchdowns and, Darnold only threw a touchdown pass and they ran for 2 and kicked a couple of field goals. I think if you're thinking outside the box in a lower scoring game, Raheed Shaheed, maybe a punt return type thing. You know what I mean? Like Randall L did when he won the MVP. Sort of, random player. Somebody on defense you could think about. I understand where you're going. But you also have the other side of it in which, don't forget, the media votes for the MVP. And Sam Darnold is the ultimate redemption story, right? If, they're going to want to, sort of justify themselves ripping him for their entire careers, right? Giving him the MVP because no one really saw this coming. And I kind of have a hard time seeing it not being Drake May if the Patriots win.
Right. The difference between what you have to ask yourself is, and you just said it, I would not bet Drake May at plus 235 to win the MVP when I can get the Patriots at plus 190. That 45-cent difference is not worth the risk to me. But Seattle's minus 225 money line. Now I could take their quarterback Sam Darnold at plus money, plus 125. That's a $300 and basically $50 swing. That's now worth taking a risk of, I think Seattle's going to win. It's worth it.
Walker's really the only one that can get you. Unless, listen, remember the Patriots and the Rams game was a 13-3 game and nothing happened? I don't think it's going to be like that, like this game. So, if, let's say JSN has 2 touchdown catches or something. Well, Darnold's the one that threw him the ball. They're going to give it to Darnold and not a kid in his second year in the NFL. It'll be, like I said, the redemption story for Sam Darnold. So I'm thinking Kenneth Walker. If you want to think outside the box, come up with some guys. But besides Darnold, I would have to say it would be Kenneth Walker.
7. Yeah. 6-7 to 1. That's not bad, right? 2 storylines we're going to get sick of. I think, this will be my prediction on. How many times are we going to watch the interception? How many times are we going to break that down with the Patriots and why not hand the ball off? And I get all that stuff, and I buy into. We're going to get that thrown down our throats, and then the Sam Darnold thing. You said it. You got to remember who votes on this stuff. It's the media members that are at the game. They look for these Cinderella stories. They always look for storylines, and he is it. You're right. If he's anywhere close, he's going to get it.
I can't help but think, though, as well, the first thing I thought of yesterday, and I posted it, was Bill Belichick, right? Tom Brady leaves the Patriots, wins the Super Bowl without him, and here we are now. Mike Vrabel steps in, and the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, and then you look at Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll was basically asked to leave Seattle, and now Seattle are in the Super Bowl. If Bill Belichick and Pete Carroll were the coaches of these teams right now, this would not be the matchup. Right, so, both these teams just made the right choice, right decisions, moving on, and Vrabel and McDonald did a great job getting them here.
And now look at both of these poor guys, right? You got Carroll, who's out of a job, fired in essence twice, and you got, I don't know what
maybe Carroll gets the NC State job.
Yeah, there you go. That would be funny.
97% chance of winning a PGA Tour major, would I be wrong by saying I want to invest in the no on Scotty Scheffler? And that $100 investment would pay back $213 here. Everybody thinks Scotty's going to win. It's like 100 golfers in those fields each and every week in the majors, the best golfers in the world. I'm going against the grain, Joe. Give me the no on Scotty Scheffler.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
What is going on with this John Morant saga, right? Joe's on the block. Joe wants to be traded. But now Joe comes back and he denies all trade talks and John says he has no desire to play elsewhere. So he shut it down. He's still viewed as a franchise centerpiece when on the floor. Memphis, they're better with him.
Pro Basketball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
The Buffalo Bills have to find a new head coach. Take a look at the leaders right now. A 33% chance Brian Dable takes that job. You say, well, why? Wait a second here. He's head coach of the New York Giants. Did you know he came from the Buffalo Bills and basically resurrected Josh Allen on that MVP trajectory while he was with the Buffalo Bills? Clay Kubiak, Joe Brady, Davis Webb, all offensive guys, which I agree with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. A little college basketball, a little hockey, a little NBA, some NFL stuff, a little polygraph stuff as well.
I thought they were giving him a free throw. No, they didn't.
Weren't?
What happened? They didn't give it to him.
Our producers got over 83.5 team points.
Yeah, there was like a foul.
No, I see 2 seconds left.
Yeah, they're not giving him the free throws,
They stopped. But they're not giving a free throw. They're at 83.
No.
Wow. We thought there was going to be a foul.
I think my jump ball.
Oh, jump ball. Wow. Well, they could have really just rolled out the clock.
83-52 final score. Oh, wow. The kid had 2 cracks at it in the bat. I was watching it, too. He put it up off like they had a couple of cracks. I thought he got fouled, but.
Yeah.
I was surprised they called it because it's garbage time. I was like, whoa. That's why I was like, oh, they blew a whistle with 2 seconds left in a 30-point game.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
Yeah.
Wow. You don't realize how good the starters are until you see the subs in there. And they just
it's amazing how bad the subs are all the time. Eh? Like, they're just terrible.
Right?
It's just pain watching some of these college kids. It's pain. Yeah. Like, when you need points and you have a total or a team total, then you're watching, you're like, oh, at least NBA, there's a chance. Like NBA, sometimes there's 1 or 2 guys that'll hit shots. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always a guy that just give me the ball, I'll take the shot, I'll hit this. But like college is just brutal. Like you said, they walk it up, they brick it, they miss layups.
Yeah. I mean, it is so bad.
It's and like, why were the kids on Louisville defending so hard there too? Like the kid was right? It was like 2 guys like blocking. It's like, guys, like, it's 3 seconds left. We're about to lose by 30. What do you care so much for? Like,
who cares? You know, let them score. This way you get a couple more seconds than for you to score on the other end, right?
And I'm a Raptor fan. You want a bad beat? The same thing happened to me. I bet it was the Portland game. I bet an in-game total 209 and a half and 203 and a half. So I hit that one, but it was at 20. It was at 208, and it was the exact same thing. It was like the Raptors were winning by like 17 or something, and there was like 5 seconds left, and for whatever reason, Scotty Barnes blocked 2 shots in a row. It's like, why?
Wow.
Yeah, he's a competitor, you know what I mean? But like, no, but what? Like, he even slammed it back and like celebrated after the end of the game when he blocked the shot. I was like, thanks, bro. You just cost me the total because you blocked that shot. You didn't need to do that, but like, it happens. Can't blame a guy for playing to the whistle, I guess.
You know,
hey,
it
look
was a
at
good
Portland, though.
Hunch play
They've
tonight.
cut the lead to 11. They've chipped they've played themselves back in this after getting lit up in the first. They actually did this against the Raptors,
33.
too. They only scored like 11 points in the first, and the total went down to like 193 and a half, and I took it. That's why I took a bunch of in-game totals the other night with the Raptors and the Blazers. The Blazers started off slow and picked it up. Maybe this is their thing now. It's a pattern.
Yeah. That's why in the NBA, you always got to put a little extra aside. It just, be your convictions. I believe in your convictions, right? If you thought it was a good play, and it was, right? You always like, okay, if things don't go the right way, just have a little extra. You can double down and get a much, fatter number, like you could have got with the
they were getting 19 and a half at one point. I saw.
Yeah.
Maybe it got higher, but I saw it at 19 and a half.
Yeah. You know, it was a good hunch play tonight, Gabe. And I did play a little bit of it, but I didn't go as far as I should have. The Islanders against the Philadelphia Flyers. Don't know if you caught it or not over the weekend. Hockey for me, and I love hockey. And NBA, it always kind of takes a backseat with all the college stuff, right? Yeah, the head coach, Patrick Roy, ripped his club. He benched his two best players, including Matthew Barzal, and he benched them for the entire third period. They asked him about it and basically said, well, these guys don't want to play. Well, I'm not going to play. I really just challenged them, right? They're playing the Flyers, who stink tonight on the road. They're winning 3-0, and Barzal scored a goal. I played them, but I should have played him to score a goal as well. But
I like the Sabres on Saturday too. That was one of the best spots. Islanders coming back from a West Coast successful road trip.
Right.
I'm telling you, successful road trips, first game home back is an automatic fade for teams.
Yeah.
Just if they lost, if they had a bad road trip, it's different. Like they could be in a bad mood.
Yeah.
They could be all right. We got to win. We're back home. But if a team had a good road trip, they always lose the first game back home.
Yeah. Yeah, they're too busy celebrating with the girlfriends and the wives and the friends and the family.
Yeah, they don't have the same intensity, right?
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, I love the Islanders tonight. They're turning to look really good team. I wouldn't say that if they were a last place team. You could have all the motivation in the world, but they're actually a very good team. They turned into a good team. So that was a perfect spot, getting embarrassed like that. Head coach calls them out. And it's a good sign for the Islanders that they respect and really, like Patrick Roy, or at least respect him. I don't know if they like him or not, but
Patrick Roy's
he can
chilled
challenge
out, too.
them and they don't sulk. They could have sulked and just lose 3-0. Instead, they're winning 3-0. So.
I mean, Patrick Roy's had some of the most epic meltdowns in history before,
oh,
right?
Absolutely.
So he's kind of chilled out. It's one of the reasons why he's never been a coach of the Montreal Canadiens, right? He kind of always wanted that job, right? He's a Canadian legend. He's from Quebec. That's the one job that he's always sort of wanted, but he's had an on and off relationship with the Canadiens. He didn't leave on good terms, and then he sort of got upset that they never gave him a chance to be the head coach there. Right? They thought that basically he was too much of a hothead. And he was in Colorado. And then he bought a Quebec junior. He bought a team in junior. He owned the team and he coached the team. And I was going to say he calmed down, but he really didn't. He used to get into fights with other coaches in the parking lot after the game and stuff. That happens a lot in the junior leagues. It's sort of old school. So he is kind of a psychopath, but he's definitely tuned it down. And players they fear him a bit. So he's got the fear thing, but he's also cool. Yeah. Right. So he, he bets on football. He's a funny guy in real life and stuff. He's a cool dude in real life. He's just super intense and he wants to win. So he does a hell of a job. He's got the perfect temperament now. Yeah. So like you said, he set the message and it worked.
Yeah. I mean, think about it, right? How many former goaltenders, forget the old school, maybe, but, within the last 30 years, 40 years even, I don't remember too many former goaltenders that are head coaches. Right? I mean, they're not coaching offense and they're not coaching defense, when they're playing. So it's kind of like, well, why would you be a good head coach? You just sat there in the net, right? But
they see it all. Yeah. If you're a goalie, you see the entire. It's almost like a quarterback. You see things. I was a goalie, so I used to know. Okay, this guy on my team doesn't do this very good. I would know. All right, this line I got to be a little bit more aware. I would know you should do this. Don't do that. Goalies are smart. They're always the weird guy on the team, but they always have a high hockey IQ goalie because they're on the ice all the time, right? So they literally see everything, right? They see their own end, they see the other end. Because goalies are generally weird. Because goalies are generally the weird guy on the team. They're eccentric.
Okay. Interesting.
It's a good
So
point,
you
though.
think
There
there'd be
aren't a
more-
lot of goalie coaches.
Right? Yeah. There really aren't. Maybe they make so much money they don't need to. That'll be the answer for the quarterback. How come there's not that many quarterbacks that are head coaches? That's why.
They don't make
Because
that
they make a
much.
gazillion
Goalies
dollars.
are underpaid, actually, in the NHL. People don't like paying goalies like more than like $5 million type of deal, $7 million. You know what I mean? They start to balk. Like a lot of goalies have a hard time breaking through that sort of $5 million range.
Right.
Even Thatcher Demko's only getting like $5 million. Yeah, like the goalies are underpaid. If you consider the importance of the position, they are underpaid.
Yeah. 1-0 Anaheim. Good start for the Ducks. 5.5 minutes left to go in the first.
I need one
another
more goal
there,
in this
right?
period. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
looking
down to
here. You're
pick 'em
right.
now.
Like, you know what?
Yeah. Like
Ron
your
Lowe was
goalies?
a coach for a while. Yeah. Remember Ron Lowe? He was a coach. He was a goalie, but there's really not a lot of them. Like, you have to go back into the old days.
Yeah.
Emil Francis,
what I mean.
Eddie
But forget about the
Johnston,
40s,
Ron
50s.
Lowe,
Yeah, those
Jerry
guys.
Cheevers, Glenn Hanlon.
Glenn Hanlon. Like
Coach
from
the
maybe
Washington
75,
Capitals.
80 on, we'll say. From like 80 on. Not that many that I could think of offhand. Yeah, those guys are
it's
oldest.
a good point by you. Very few goalies have become head coaches. Right?
All right, more coming up.
Players
Game
are
Live,
not
Game
good
Day
head
on the
coaches
Grid.
either.
Yeah.
.7% chance of winning a PJ Tour major? Would I be wrong by saying I want to invest in the no on Scotty Scheffler? And that $100 investment would pay back $213 here. Everybody thinks Scotty's going to win. There's like 100 golfers in those fields each and every week, and the majors, the best golfers in the world. I'm going against the grain, Joe. Give me the no on Scotty Scheffler.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
What is going on with this John Morant saga? Right? Joe's on the block. Joe wants to be traded. But now Joe comes back and he denies all trade talks, and John says he has no desire to play elsewhere. So he shut it down. He's still viewed as a franchise centerpiece when on the floor. Memphis, they're better with him.
Pro Basketball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
The Buffalo Bills have to find a new head coach. Take a look at the leaders right now. A 33% chance Brian Dable takes that job. You say, well, why? Wait a second here. Who's head coach of the New York Giants? Did you know he came from the Buffalo Bills and basically resurrected Josh Allen on that MVP trajectory while he was with the Buffalo Bills? Clay Kubiak, Joe Brady, Davis Webb, all offensive guys, which I agree with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. So just kind of recapping things hockey-wise. Nothing really jumps off the board. You got the favorites that are leading. There's only a couple of games anyway. Edmonton would be the one, but Gabe and I are both on Anaheim. They got it locked right now, so maybe you get a power play situation with 5 minutes, 6 minutes
There
left.
is.
My Bruins leading the Rangers. Yeah, okay. You got a shot then. You got a shot for your second
4-on-3
goal,
power
right?
play. 4-on-3 power
even
play
better.
right now. So, yeah, this is an opportunity for the Oilers to bury one and tie this. Yeah, you know what? 4 minutes. Yeah, they got a 4-minute penalty too. So, see if Edmonton can get one. Yeah, it was minus 170 too, right? So it was pretty juicy to go over 1.5. Anaheim scored that early goal, but there's been nothing since. We'll see if Edmonton. You brought it up. We talked about it. Edmonton's sort of an all-or-nothing team, and it looks like so far early it's the nothing Edmonton tonight.
How'd they get a 4-minute 4-on-3 power play? I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
There was
scrum or something. Someone jumped
there was
in.
Edmonton were on the power play, and then there was like 2 more penalties.
Oh, okay.
After Edmonton took a penalty, and then Anaheim took another penalty, right? Type of deal. So, yeah. So that's where we're at. There's 3.5 minutes left in it here. Edmonton are teeing it up. They keep missing the net here right now. I'd really like a late goal here. Good start for our Ducks though, plus 1.5. Nice start here. 1-0 Ducks.
Yeah, I took them on the money line, and Edmonton's still favored, which just goes to respect that the Oilers get, although they're on the power play here. So minus 148, so not bad. Need the Bruins. I bet the Bruins tonight. This Ranger team is just awful. Boys in Vegas still give them a ton of respect. Bruins are 8-1 their last 9, and the Rangers are god awful, especially at home. 1-8 are the Rangers, so it's a complete reversal, and yet basically it was pick 'em. I think I laid $1.20 or so on Boston, and they're up 3-2 starting the third period. So that's pretty good.
You want awful.
But that's it.
Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, 20 points in the first half.
Oof.
20
glad
points.
We didn't play that.
it was 24-20 at the
one.
half. Yeah, it was like such a degenerate game. I looked down like, oh, it's just like ugly, this one. 24-20. I mean, that's like a girls' high school game. Like, not even. Like, 24-20, really? NCAA, Division I basketball? It's the problem when you have these teams, the Rio Grandes and the A&M Corpus Christi. There's not enough players to go around for everybody. But, the Rio Grande are up 28-20 right now. Game was nearly a pick-em type of deal. Texas A&M Corpus Christi were like 1.5-point favorites, but they're not scoring. So, they've been outscored 4-0 to start the second, 28-20 right now. They're getting 5.5 on their home court.
What's
and
the
we got a track
over-under on that
meet in
one?
Arizona and BYU. The over-under is 114.5.
You got 44. You got
114.5.
48, 50. That's still a 7. That's still a 65, 67. That's a 68-point second half.
Take a leap of faith to get there, huh?
Yeah,
I think it probably does.
You see
But it's a leap of faith. But BYU and Arizona, their in-game total is 173.5. It was like close to 167.5. So 11-10 after the first TV timeout here. 11-10 for Arizona. Both teams are just sort of running and gunning early.
Yeah, they're going up and down. If they continue on this pace, if it doesn't get there, it's just because they're missing their shots. But it's a frantic, good, entertaining college basketball game. So not far off from the original number. What was it, 166.5? I think it was 167 in that area.
Yeah, 67.5.
67.5, yeah. So FanDuel's got it at 173.5. I would go over. I would go much higher than that, but I think both teams hit 80-plus points, and then you take your chance, get some fouling in the end. So I'm on BYU. You're on Arizona. Early enough start. You get 2.5 with BYU right now. So that's pretty much even.
Fun game. The kids in Provo have brought it. It's packed. They've got their signs out and everything. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a Big Ten. Like you talk about the Big Ten. This is a big-time game and it has a big-time atmosphere, national television. I'm sure the ratings for this game will be very good. There's a few NBA games on, but people will pay attention to this. And then tomorrow you have such a big-time game, man. Number 3 versus number 5, and no one's really going to see it. It's going to fly under the radar with Nebraska and Michigan. So like I said, Michigan opened at 11.5. It seems to have settled in at 10.5 right now for this game. Michigan have been playing really close to the number. The odds makers, like similar to Duke, the odds makers have Michigan figured out. But nice win for Nebraska and Minnesota over the weekend. We all thought that Minnesota could be a live home dog. Nebraska pulls away in the second half, and it sets up this heavyweight showdown. Who would have thought, huh? Michigan versus Nebraska, 3 versus 5. Maybe in football, but not even. This is like one of those.
Not
like,
even
wow.
in football.
Like, who would have expected this matchup? And Illinois big win against Purdue, and they play Nebraska in the next game. So this is a tough week for Nebraska.
This is kind of like got the BYU schedule written on. You'll find out about these Cinderella type of teams over the next 6-7 days or so. we forgot, not necessarily forgot, but there's only like really one game that I wanted to throw out there, the late night pickoff. Do like Minnesota tonight. Little hunch play. I looked this up, right? So this is back-to-back games because they had they didn't play Saturday, so they played yesterday, Golden State, Minnesota, and now they're going to play today to get the back-to-back. Both the games were scheduled in Minnesota, which is kind of weird, but they do that from time to time. So I like Minnesota, although the line is getting up there a little bit. But here's an interesting one for you if you want to play a little hunch, right? So Golden State and Minnesota are very similar. They're both got winning records. One's 5-4, one's 4-3, playing on the back end of back-to-back games, right? So I wanted to look, Gabe, at some younger Golden State guys because first I was surprised they were 5-4, but I said, all right, let me look at some of the somewhat younger guys because I got to figure they're going to cut, Steph Curry and Draymond's minutes, right? So I said, all right, let me try Buddy Hield, backup who plays some. Figure he's going to be pretty good back end. He'll get a few more 4, 5, 6 extra minutes, right? So I looked up his numbers, and I don't know why, but they played 9 games heading into tonight, back end, right? 2 games in 2 nights. And 7 of the 9, he's actually played less minutes and scored less points. His number, they're giving us 13.5 now. It was 9.5 earlier today. I don't know who's betting over Buddy Hield, but if they use him like they've used him in the back end, he's going to get less playing time tonight, not more. So I'm going to go under 13.5 Buddy Hield, Golden State. So we'll get game thoughts on that on the other side. Maybe that's why. Someone's got to be scratched. That line to be that high for him.
.7% chance of winning a PGA Tour major. Would I be wrong by saying I want to invest in the no on Scotty Scheffler? And that $100 investment would pay back $213 here. Everybody thinks Scotty's going to win. It's like 100 golfers in those fields each and every week, and the major's the best golfers in the world. I'm going against the grain, Joe. Give me the no on Scotty Scheffler.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
What is going on with this John Morant saga, right? Joe's on the block. Joe wants to be traded. But now Joe comes back and he denies all trade talk and says John says he has no desire to play elsewhere. So he shut it down. He's still viewed as a franchise centerpiece when on the floor. Memphis, they're better with him.
Pro Basketball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
The Buffalo Bills have to find a new head coach. Take a look at the leaders right now. A 33% chance Brian Dable takes that job. You say, well, why? Wait a second here. He's the head coach of the New York Giants. Did you know he came from the Buffalo Bills and basically resurrected Josh Allen on that MVP trajectory while he was with the Buffalo Bills? Clay Kubiak, Joe Brady, Davis Webb, all offensive guys, which I agree with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. So we do have some updates here in this Golden State Minnesota game, Gabe. No Anthony Edwards for Minnesota, and it looks like no Steph Curry for Golden State, which explains
the wheels
line changes.
You know what's weird though is the point spread didn't really change.
No, 8,
but
7.5,
the
8,
total
yeah.
did. The total, I like the under 231.5. I was wondering where the points are going to come from in this game. Now it's 225.5, and to be honest with you, I could still wonder where the points are going to come from in this game. So it's weird that, there was all these players out, but the total is the only thing that moved. But this is just super lame and symbolic of the NBA. I get it. You're playing back-to-back games. You're playing back-to-back games in the same damn city. Like, you're in the same city, man. Like, you're at home. Like, really? You can't suck it up. But we've got the starting lineups here, and it's a train wreck tonight in this game. So the Wolves are starting Conley, Dante, McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Gobert. So they basically only don't have Anthony Edwards, the T-Wolves. Podziemski, Spencer, Moody, and Santos, and Post start for the Golden State Warriors. It's funny because I like the Warriors before getting the points, but this is a rough lineup. They don't even have Kuminga anymore. Like, this is a rough lineup. Right. They've just rolled over tonight, the Warriors.
The dude just played 34 minutes and scored 32 points yesterday, meaning Anthony Edwards. Yesterday. So what happened? When the NBA calls up Minnesota, why don't they just play them and
say, listen, we're going to play you 24 minutes tonight or whatever.
Yeah, but, that's all.
We see it with the Spurs. They managed it perfectly with Wemby. They'd kind of sit him early in the game. He'd play a few minutes in the first quarter, and they'd sort of save it. And then in the second half, he'd play like 17 minutes or whatever. It's not rocket science, guys. It's called coaching. It's called managing your bench.
You're not traveling. You're not going to an airport. You're not going to a new hotel. You're not doing anything. You're in the same city. It's the same freaking team. You don't even have to study anymore.
It's embarrassing.
They just don't care. They just don't care. I mean, and Gabe, they've lost 5 in a row. They're sitting in meeting Minnesota. They've lost to 5 in a row. They're sitting in the number 7 spot.
They should be like, they should know that they're going to sit Curry and Green, and it'd be like, we're going to win tonight. Like, we're going to play. We're going to win tonight because they're rolling over. We're not. It's at home. Why would you roll over as well? But like I said, everyone else has played. They should still be able to win the game. And do they cover? Probably. I would imagine.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it scratches me. I liked Edwards' points over. I assumed he was going to play since they needed the basketball game.
It is so hard to be an NBA fan. It's just they make it so difficult. Even if you're not forget about the betting angle. Just forget about even going to the game and you're holding out to a ticket that costs you $200, $300, $400, whatever it did, and you go there and you find out you don't have Steph Curry or Anthony Edwards, the two best players. The reason you're going, neither one are playing. But just from if you're a fan and you want the team to finish into the number 6 or 5 or 4 spot, I mean, we're halfway through the season. We're past the halfway point.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to hear about these teams crying about a bad call late in the season when they miss out a playoff spot by a game or two.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, wow, how many times did you guys not care during a regular season? 14, 15, 20? How many games did you guys just sort of say, well, we won't win this one tonight? It's bizarre. You figure at home that they would, really just want to nail this down, unless Edwards just can't go. But I can't believe that Edwards couldn't be able to go tonight. They must figure that they can win this game anyways. Randall could go off. I guess if you want to look at a prop, I'd look at Randall right now.
Who do they, just out of curiosity? Yeah. Randall would be the one, right? They play
and what's his
Dallas
new prop?
on Wednesday.
Let me see. He was 21.5. So I'm curious to see what they've jumped it to.
I bet it's 23.5. I bet it's 23.
Randall 25.5 now.
Ooh. They're not stupid, are they? Boys in Vegas aren't dumb.
They jabbed at 25.5. He'll be the new primary scorer, but it's just weird. Like, it's hard for bettors minutes before the game. I mean, this was announced about a half hour ago, whatnot, but it is what it is. Symbolic of the National Basketball Association. But on a light night in which it could have been an interesting game, that's sort of been erased. So that's what I'm saying. So Arizona and BYU really get the stage tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm a little surprised with that.
The Boston-Portland game, but BYU-Arizona is the most interesting game. And for the record, we cashed the over 1.5 in the first period. The Edmonton Oilers did score on the power play. 1-1 after one period.
All right, there you go. We can still get an Anaheim win, that's for sure. So nice. And Bruins still lead 3-2. We'll check the other board when we come back in Game Live. Game Day on the grid.
7% chance of winning a PGA Tour major, would I be wrong by saying I want to invest in the no on Scotty Scheffler? And that $100 investment would pay back $213 here. Everybody thinks Scotty's going to win. It's like 100 golfers in those fields each and every week in the majors, the best golfers in the world. I'm going against the grain, Joe. Give me the no on Scotty Scheffler.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
What is going on with this John Morant saga, right? Joe's on the block. Joe wants to be traded. But now Joe comes back and he denies all trade talks and John says he has no desire to play elsewhere. So he shut it down. He's still viewed as a franchise centerpiece when on the floor. Memphis, they're better with him.
Pro Basketball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
The Buffalo Bills have to find a new head coach. Take a look at the leaders right now. A 33% chance Brian Dable takes that job. You say, well, why? Wait a second here. He's head coach of the New York Giants. Did you know he came from the Buffalo Bills and basically resurrected Josh Allen on that MVP trajectory while he was with the Buffalo Bills? Clay Kubiak, Joe Brady, Davis Webb, all offensive guys, which I agree with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid, midway through hour number 2. We got a lot to get to, a little NBA, a little hockey, a little college basketball, some Super Bowl talk as well. Let's bring on a good buddy, SportsGrid host you see it here all the time on the Grid, Mr. Adam Kaufman. Talk a little NBA and football with him. What's going on, Adam? How are you today, bud?
Well, listen, the Celtics are up, the Bruins are up, the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. I'm feeling pretty
Yeah,
good
really.
here, Scott.
Yeah.
It's a bad day.
Negative.
Bad
Yeah.
day for bookies and bad couple of days for
Boston.
bookies and yeah. Although the Broncos did cover the point spread, so that's
That's
the Broncos
Which I
did
thought
cover,
was the
but
right
yeah.
side. I was on the Broncos with the points, too. I thought that was the right
Yeah.
number.
Yeah, it
That's
should have been
one of those-
3. It should have been kind of what it was. Like you kind of knew, like it would end up being a 3-point game. Kind of, I did. I expected it.
It's not considered, guys, a bad beat, but like if you bet the Patriots, as I did, now I bought the hook. I always buy the hook, right? So I got the push. But if you bet the Patriots, right, Adam, you said, okay, the Broncos aren't going to score. They didn't, 7 points. The quarterback is not going to play well. He didn't, 2 interceptions. So the weather may play a factor. Everything you thought was going to happen for you to bet the Patriots did, you still didn't cover the spread. It just goes to show how tough the can be.
We just saw such wild line movement in that game. Remember, it opened at, I think it was 4.5, went to 5.5 pretty quickly. There were even some 6s out there, and then all that money came in the other way, brought it down to 3.5. And at that point, I was just looking for a middle because I was already on the Broncos at 5, and then I saw New England minus 3.5, and I was like, I realize that's not much of a middle. It's an incredibly tight middle, but rather than waiting for an in-game opportunity, I'm going to throw a little something on that because that just, it feels right to me. I think New England wins this thing by more than a field goal. Now, obviously, that's not what happened, to your point, but it could have. Each kicker missed multiple field goals in this game, so there were just so many opportunities for that score to look a little bit different. It was always going to hit the under, but in terms of it, whether the Broncos tied it, took a lead, the Patriots, win by 6, win by 9. There were so many different ways that thing could have changed. But, man, as that game went along, going from green pastures and beautiful clear skies to the blizzard that we got in the last quarter and a half of that game, those guys, they couldn't even see what they were kicking into. I saw somebody point this out, and I hadn't really thought about it, but it really does make you appreciate, some of those Adam Vinatieri kicks in the snow way back when all that much more, because these guys, they just weren't even close.
That's why Peyton really should have taken the extra 3 when he had the chance to, especially with the weather that was coming in. Right? They predicted that in the second half it was going to get bad. Why not just take another 3 points?
Agreed.
Right? These coaches are just adverse to field goals.
Even if there wasn't an issue, with the weather.
Yeah,
bad weather,
you're playing in a low-scoring game. Just take the 3 and move on. 10-0.
It's the playoffs. You have the opportunity to go up by 2 scores in a game where your defense is playing great. The Patriots offense looks like a disaster. They can't figure you out. Drake May is not achieving anything other than, the occasional successful scramble, with his legs, obviously. But yeah, I mean, that to me felt like a real step on their throat kind of moment for the Broncos, had they taken the 3, but they got greedy, wanted to make it 14. I get it. If they had achieved it, maybe the game ends that way and the Patriots don't win it. Obviously they didn't. It's not like they got to 14 points themselves, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the decision to not take the 3 just as a football fan, and never mind a Patriots backer. It didn't make sense to me, but if you're going to do it, if you're going to be committed to doing it, like later in the game, the Patriots were in a very similar situation. 4th and 1, they're in the red zone, short yardage. They decide to go for it, but they sneaked it with Drake May. They got it, barely, and ultimately had to settle for 3 anyway because they couldn't do anything after they got the new set of downs. But at least it was the right play call. To have Jarrett Stidham that early in the game, still so fresh, at this point from not having thrown a pass in an NFL game that meant anything in the last 2 years. Like, why are you having him throw on 4th and short? Run the ball. I know how elite the Patriots' run defense is, but you're going to tell me you couldn't have picked up a half a yard on the ground with Harvey, or even going up the middle with Stidham? The QB sneak, I feel like I've talked about this with Kevin Walsh. The QB sneak just is not part of today's game. It doesn't exist anymore. Not the way it did when, Tom Brady was making a living doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, don't overcomplicate it.
It's stupid. Yeah, the whole thing, guys, was just stupid. I don't care what anyone says. It's stupid. You're up 7-0. At that point, you've allowed 12 yards in 3 Patriot drives. They've allowed 12 yards at that point. You can go up 10-0. You're right. If you want to go for it, okay, you do a quarterback sneak. You can count on one hand how many times the tush push doesn't work. The only time it doesn't work is the quarterback slips and falls down. Other than that, he's standing there. You're just being pushed. You're not going to the ground. It is so, and you want to blame it on analytics and the new head coaches. This is an old, established head coach. I mean, it is beyond dumb. It really is. So we've seen it. The Bears turning down field goals, losing against the Rams. The Jacksonville Jaguars turning down a field goal late first half, lose by 3 to the Bills. It's I don't know when it's going to change. I don't know.
Did it late. McVay did it late in that Rams Seahawks game. It didn't
I don't mind
ultimately
that one.
matter.
5.5
No, I
minutes
mean,
left.
I could have justified it either way, but you could have. This is a hindsight thing. Honestly, like in the moment, I supported going for it too. So I'm not picking on him, but you could have very easily, in hindsight, said it's a 1-point game. If you hit the kick, you get a stop on defense, which you would have had to do regardless, whether you scored a touchdown or whether you took 3, whether you do nothing and turn it over on downs. Like either way, you needed to stop defensively. And if you get that and you're down by 1. You got a much shorter field. You don't need the full 7. So again, it's picking nits, if you will. But
coaches never do that either. I agree. I've brought that up a lot over the years, even in regular season games in which 6-7 minutes left type of deal. Teams sort of get desperate. It's like, you could kick 2 field goals, right? And and especially in a modern NFL where guys are good from 55 type of deal, and you get the ball at the 35. You're really only a couple of plays away, Adam, from a field goal attempt. Like, seriously, you get the ball on your 35-yard line, and then boom, 2 passes, and you're in field goal range.
The Rams
they don't like doing it. I don't think they trust their kickers enough.
Well, here's the other thing, guys. Here's the other thing in that situation. Here's the other thing. If you kick now, I don't mind going for the touchdown. I'm not going to kill him.
No.
If you do kick the field. If you do kick the field goal, here's the key that people also don't bring up. You're putting Seattle in a defensive mode. Like if you score a touchdown there, Seattle's coming out and they're throwing. They got to score, right? And you'll never convince me the Rams would have stopped them. if you kick the field goal, now Seattle's main concern is just get first downs. Now they're going to run on first and second down and hopefully convert on third down. Like the mindset is like, it's not the worst thing in the world to have Seattle in this case think, okay, our opponent is the clock, not the scorer still, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
but yeah, listen, it's,
But you
I say
mentioned
all
it,
the time.
Adam.
Go ahead.
Go on, Scott.
No, I was just gonna say it's not one team is better than the other. They all have the same kind of talent. It's just whoever converts plays, whichever head coach makes the smart move. It's all about coaching. It's not necessarily about who's got the better players at that point.
I was going to say the Patriots' offense has to be a concern coming into this football game against the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle defense we've seen is good enough to slow down, contain, shut down. They are an elite defense. And the Patriots are having a hard time. I mean, yeah, they put up 28 points against the Texans. C.J. Stroud gave them the ball a million times. What are your thoughts on how New England's offense can match up against Seattle's defense?
I've been conflicted about it, thinking about it for, just sort of in my head like everybody else, right? I know it wasn't easy by any stretch, but a lot of us assumed the Patriots would beat the Broncos. So I was already kind of thinking ahead, what's this look like against the Rams? What's this look like against the Seahawks? Where are the advantages? And if we look at it and say there's a chance that the defenses are actually a little bit of a wash, because I am very high on New England's defense, then yeah, at that point, it's which quarterback is going to go out there and win you the game and not make a mistake. And to this point, I know this is not history, but to this point here in the playoffs, Drake May has had his issues turning the ball over against very, very good defense. Top 5 defense. Sam Darnold's been playing it clean so far.
Yep. More with that coming up. We'll get his thoughts on the MVP market for the Super Bowl.
.7% chance of winning a PJ Tour major. Would I be wrong by saying I want to invest in the no on Scotty Scheffler? And that $100 investment would pay back $213 here. Everybody thinks Scotty's going to win. It's like 100 golfers in those fields each and every week in the majors, the best golfers in the world. I'm going against the grain, Joe. Give me the no on Scotty Scheffler.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
What is going on with this John Morant saga, right? Joe's on the block. Joe wants to be traded. But now Joe comes back and he denies all trade talks and John says he has no desire to play elsewhere. So he shut it down. He's still viewed as a franchise centerpiece when on the floor. Memphis, they're better with him.
Pro Basketball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
The Buffalo Bills have to find a new head coach. Take a look at the leaders right now. A 33% chance Brian Dable takes that job. You say, well, why? Wait a second here. He's head coach of the New York Giants. Did you know he came from the Buffalo Bills and basically resurrected Josh Allen on that MVP trajectory while he was with the Buffalo Bills? Clay Kubiak, Joe Brady, Davis Webb, all offensive guys, which I agree with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid, talking some Super Bowl action, some football with Adam Kaufman, SportsGrid host you see in here all the time here on the Grid. So Gabe and I, Adam, we're talking a little MVP market. And, the one thing we pointed out, I don't know if it's necessarily, if you think it's going to be Drake May for the Patriots, the Patriot line is plus 188. We'll just say plus 190. The Drake May MVP is plus 235. Is that really kind of worth the risk? Whereas the Sam Darnold, if you think Seattle's going to win, is minus 225 on the money line, but plus 125 for Sam Darnold to win the MVP. That's a 350-point swing. So that to me would be worth it. I don't necessarily think the Drake May would be worth it, but any thoughts on the MVP market? You see the numbers there.
Well, I hadn't thought about the May versus the Patriots money line. I think you make a really good point. It's probably at that point you may as well take the nearly 2-1 versus looking for the extra 30, 40 cents just to get yourself to a specific player winning MVP. So I agree with you there. On the Seattle side, I don't know. I think generally speaking, historically, obviously the MVP market, be it regular season or here in these Super Bowls, it is a quarterback award. We know that. But is Sam Darnold, let's say Sam Darnold goes out and throws for, I don't know, 260 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he's efficient, but maybe turns the ball over one time. But Jackson Smith-Njigba has 135 receiving yards across 8 catches and 1 of those touchdowns. You can make a pretty strong case at that point for JSN to win your MVP at 5-1. So I just think this is one of those matchups where you've got a lot of intriguing talent, none more so obviously than JSN, which is why the number is what it is, but some, dumpster diving kind of talent, as our buddy Cam would say, where you've got real value. Kenneth Walker, 7-1. He could rush in for multiple scores or catch one and run one in. He's the singular back there. There's no Zach Charbonnet, and Halani isn't going to be the guy. So Kenneth Walker's your bell cow back. 7-1, there's value if you believe in Seattle. And all these are contingent upon, obviously, believing in a particular side to win, because it's not like the MVP is going to come from the losing team. That just doesn't happen. Ramondre Stevenson has, it's a timeshare with Travion Henderson, but he's getting the bulk of the load, in terms of carrying the ball. He's even getting some receptions. He's at 30-1. Do I think he's going to win it? No. I mean, hell, if James White didn't win it in that 28-3 comeback against Atlanta, where he absolutely should have, and it still went to Tom Brady, how does Stevenson win this one? I have no idea. But again, that's why the number is what it is. So, I'm not going to go so far down the board as to, necessarily look at a Shaheed unless, I don't know, he has a special teams touchdown and an offensive touchdown. Like, you'd have to really go crazy here in this one, I think. Diggs, the kickers like Cooper Kupp. I mean, I'm not going all the way down there, but I think this is one of those weird Super Bowls where, you don't have a Mahomes, you don't have a Hurts or a Stafford or something. Like, it's Darnold and May. Now, granted, May might be the regular season MVP. We don't know yet. But he's not had a good playoff so far. And now, after beating 3 consecutive top 5 defenses, he's going up against the number 6 defense. So the stats would tell you, the pattern would tell you, it's going to be another, even if he wins, just another difficult kind of long day at the stadium here. So I think this is one of those times where it makes sense. There's value going down the board and taking a little bit of a long shot.
All right, let's turn our attention before we let you go to a little NBA talk. We got our Celtics in action tonight. Leading by, although Gabe and I are both on Portland, I must say, it's down to 14. They're leading by 20. Any NBA plays on the board tonight for you?
Well, we know no team likes to give up a double-digit lead like the Boston Celtics, so it's hard not to be intrigued by that plus 14 for sure. I mean, I certainly believe Boston will win this game, but with a quarter and a half to go, I mean, they're mostly healthy. There's no Luka Garza tonight, but pretty much everyone else is available. It just means more minutes for a guy like Amari Williams, who is actually playing really well. But so long as White's carrying you, Pritchard's carrying you, obviously Brown is carrying you, the Celtics really, especially coming off that disappointing loss they just had against the Bulls, they shouldn't have too much resistance in winning this game. But could they take their foot off the gas if the starters play up through the midpoint of the fourth quarter and then they're out and then you get a backdoor cover by the Blazers? I think that's very live. So, the pregame number is one thing, but if you can get in now at plus 14, I think that's very appealing on Portland.
Jaylen Brown has gone over 6.5 rebounds in 9 of their last 10 games. I bet it tonight. He's at 6 right now. So I need one more.
Right,
we got 4 minutes left in the third. I need one more rebound.
Well, they're not running away from him. They're only up by 12, so the minutes should be there.
It's helped that Portland had chipped away. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, as long
Jalen
as
just
he
got
stays
teed
on the
up,
floor,
actually.
he gets it for you. Well,
Don't get kicked out. He just got teed
Don't
up.
get kicked out. Yeah, jeez, don't get kicked out.
That'd be
He's
my
not in
luck.
that
Gets
sort of
kicked out
foul
with one
trouble, though.
more.
He's only got one of those.
All right. Can you imagine?
Yeah, but
how
I
about the
did
battle
hear
of
what you were
backups?
talking about before I came on in terms of the Warriors game
Golden
against
State.
the Timberwolves, and it's just it really is disappointing, to your point, for fans that spend their hard-earned money to go to a game, and it's like, this is my opportunity, to see Ant, to see Steph, to see whoever, and it's never mind the fact that Golden State doesn't have Steph. Fine, he's old. You got to figure that's always going to be on the table, but I mean, Jesus, I was just looking at their injury report going into the game. No Butler, obviously, with the torn ACL. But beyond that, no Steph, no Draymond, no Horford, no Kuminga. You don't even have Seth Curry in this one. On the Timberwolves side, at least, there's no Ant, but there is Randall, there's Reed, there's McDaniels, there's Gobert, there's all these guys. Like this should not be a difficult cover of 8 points for Minnesota in this game.
Warriors up early, for the record, 14-8. Yeah, this will be a bad look for Minnesota. They lose this one, but I like Golden State tonight. I thought Curry was going to play, and I liked the 7.5. It's funny, the number didn't move because then Anthony Edwards wasn't playing, so they just sort of called it a wash there. Minnesota just can't be trusted.
Minnesota.
Yeah, at least it's down now, but I just don't trust Minnesota to win by 8 or 9 against anybody. And Portland are chipping away. 65-56 now. They've cut 66-56, so we've cut it to 10.
Like I said,
we got a shot.
No team likes to blow a double-digit lead like the Boston Celtics.
That's for sure. Taking the overtime on the Nets over the weekend. Great job, Adam. We'll do it again soon. Thanks.
All right, fellas.
.7% chance of winning a PGA Tour major. Would I be wrong by saying I want to invest in the no on Scotty Scheffler? And that $100 investment would pay back $213 here. Everybody thinks Scotty's going to win. It's like 100 golfers in those fields each and every week in the majors, the best golfers in the world. I'm going against the grain, Joe. Give me the no on Scotty Scheffler.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
What is going on with this John Morant saga, right? John's on the block. John wants to be traded. But now John comes back and he denies all trade targets, and John says he has no desire to play elsewhere. So he shut it down. He's still viewed as a franchise centerpiece when on the floor. Memphis, they're better with him.
Pro Basketball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
The Buffalo Bills have to find a new head coach. Take a look at the leaders right now. A 33% chance Brian Dable takes that job. You say, well, why? Wait a second here. He's head coach of the New York Giants. Did you know he came from the Buffalo Bills and basically resurrected Josh Allen on that MVP trajectory while he was with the Buffalo Bills? Clay Kubiak, Joe Brady, Davis Webb, all offensive guys, which I agree with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. Thanks again, Adam Kaufman, SportsGrid host, joining us there. Talk a little NFL, little baskets with him. And speaking of baskets, let's see, we'll start from the top here. Lakers lead the Bulls 106-96, early fourth quarter. Pretty good pace, 250.5 is the over-under. So I'm sitting on the Bulls, and Gabe's got the Lakers. Celtics, you know what? Down to 9. How about that? 67-58. Portland's come not all the way back, obviously, down 20 and change, but they made it a competitive game. Let me see how my guy is doing here, Gabe, as far as points are concerned. Let's see where what's his face is. Simons has 8 points. All right, his number's 13.5. We played a little hunch over 13.5, so at least that's on pace. Your guy, did Brown get a 7th rebound?
No, he's still at 6 right now. Only 15 points, too. Right? You'd expect him to go off. I think his prop was like 27.5, 26.5 tonight, 27.5.
No,
it was pretty high,
actually.
actually.
Put him close to 30.
Is it 28.5 tonight?
Yeah, you know what? I don't remember checking, but I know I've checked, within the last, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, and he's been getting into 29s, 28.5,
So
29.5.
You figure he's going to go on a run in the 4th here. Right? I'm going to see if I can find his in-game here. I figure, especially now that Portland are cutting the lead, Boston will go on a little bit of a run in the 4th quarter at some point. Let's see what his player prop is now. They have it locked, actually. And Arizona, this game, they were trading baskets earlier. They were just sort of going back and forth. But Arizona, here, Jaylen Brown, 23.5. He's at 15 right now. 23.5. I think he scores 9 points, guys. I think he'll end up getting a 24 when it's all said and done.
Especially with Portland making a run here, right? So they're going to take the 4th quarter seriously. I like that one a lot. Yeah, chance of him not getting 24 points.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
He'll take it to the rack a couple of times. But, yeah, so Arizona, they were trading baskets early, and it was like 2017, 2021, whatever. But as they got into the mid-20s, this is when Arizona started to diss himself a little bit. And they're up to 13 right now, actually, just like that. 42-29.
Wow.
BYU having a hard time scoring on Arizona's defense.
Yeah. I got the
They
game
scored early, but they've hit the wall.
Yeah, you're right around the 28-point mark. Arizona picked up the defense, forced a few turnovers. There was one sequence where they scored a bucket, Arizona. They intercepted the inbounds pass and scored on a layup, 4 points in like 4 seconds. And they haven't scored much more, BYU, from that point on. Really. Wow. 163.5. I tell you. An Arizona, Michigan. I mean, and then you still got the Dookie Pukies, and you got all the other team. Boy, the NCAA tournament. But Arizona wins this one. This is a pretty good win on their resume, which is good already. I would double down on BYU. I'm thinking they're going to make a run. I would think second half. So, but
I'm not sure. Arizona could break their will.
Yeah. Tell you what, you win by double digits at BYU. The Rangers rallied to beat the Bruins 4-3 in overtime.
Something had to backfire for Boston. They couldn't win everything.
They
eventually caught up to them. Team from Boston loses, but Jaylen Brown gets the 7. Cash it. Nice. Jaylen Brown gets the 7.
Right.
Nice bet. 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. We don't have to sweat it out. So, man, like I said, people think of Jaylen Brown, you think of points, but he's been on this rebound run as well. Now it's 10-1 the last 11 games, over 6.5 rebounds.
That's pretty good. 10-1, and they keep on giving it 6.5. Right? That's another, bet. Who's keeping track of Jaylen Brown?
It was minus 155, though. It was minus 155.
That's not too bad for something that's happened 10-1. And they allow that to be put in parlays. That's not, that's not too bad.
I just played it outright. That was my best bet in this game. I figured, you know what? I'm gonna get. I'm gonna attack. This is the best bet. I went bigger on Jaylen Brown than I did the Blazers. Like I said, I'd like to ride the hot trends like this.
Right.
Until they move it. They start moving it to 7.5 and 8.5. They actually did move it to 7.5 right before the game, and they made it like plus 110. But you can still play it on the alt line at 6 or whatnot. But they're catching up to it a little bit. I imagine next game it'll be 7.5.
Yeah.
But he's probably going to finish with like 10 tonight or 11. He's already at 7 now.
Yeah. You want to bet it again? What's the number now? 8.5?
No, I'm out. I'm not going to force my hand here. Now I just kick back and hope that Portland can cover backdoor this. And they just cut it to 8.
Wow. The NBA.
73-65.
Right. Wouldn't be the first time. Say that. Yeah,
We got
good
a
job
bunch
as
of shows.
always. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, 8 to 10, Monday through Friday, right here on the grid. Hopefully you guys